Hello everyone and welcome to this week's game development log video diary, and this week I've been implementing support for enchanted items as well as adding a couple of new mobs into the game. But first off, I want to show you the icon particle effects that I mentioned briefly last time, because this week I improved the system and finished implementing them. So I can now set any icon to emit particles, and when I do that the icon will start to randomly generate 2D quads like this. The quads are then textured using a texture atlas, and the particle fades linearly through all the different stages of the atlas throughout the particle's life. I can also choose how many particles are emitted per second. I can choose how large or small the particles are, and how long they stay alive for. So I created these icon effects for the enchanting update that I worked on this week, so that I could use the particle effects to indicate when an item has a certain enchantment. I haven't actually added the mechanics for enchanting weapons and armour yet, but I have implemented support for enchanted items. You can now mouse over an item to see what enchantments it has, so here you can see that this sword has sharpness and life sap. There are also 5 different tiers of enchantments, so eventually you'll actually be able to upgrade the enchants on your items, and you can see the different tiers of enchantments shown in slightly different colours here, with the higher level enchantments being a darker shade of purple. And I know it's a bit tricky to read right now, but I will get round to redoing the text rendering system fairly soon. Each item can have up to 3 enchantments, and each enchantment can have its own icon particle effect. So these boots here have super speed, and you can see that for now it has this sparkly particle effect. These boots over here have jump boost, but these boots here have both of those enchantments, and so the icon shows both of the particle effects. And these enchantments do actually work as well, so if I wear these boots you can now see that I move at super speed and I can jump unreasonably high. Another small little feature that I implemented this week was personalizing the names of items. Again, I haven't added the actual mechanics of this into the game quite yet, but items can now be given personalised names, like these 3 shadow swords here. It doesn't really change much, and the personalised name will only show up for the owner of the item, so when you sell it in a shop or trade it with someone else, it will just have the original item's name for them. It will probably cost a fair amount of materials or coins or something to rename your items, so it wouldn't be something that you can just do whenever you want. It would be something that you'd save for only your best weapons and armour. And finally, last weekend I released the list of mobs and animations, and a load of you guys have already started creating some of these mobs for the game, which is fantastic. And I can already show you guys 2 of the new mobs that I added into the game this week, both of which were created and animated by Jubell. So this is the first of the 2 mobs, the skeleton, looking very awesome here, and I've got a couple of them roaming around in the desert. And then over here is the second new mob, which is this brilliant giant spider, looking very creepy indeed. So a big thanks to Christopher for these mobs, and hopefully I'll be adding some of the other mobs that you guys have been making into the game next week. So that is it for this week. Next week is the last week that I'm going to be working on the weapon and armour system, because after that I'm going to get to work on the combat system itself. As always, if you want to get involved with making content for this project, then do send me an email, especially if you'd like to do some animating, because there are a load of mobs that need animations right now. Don't forget to follow the game on any of my social media pages, links are in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will see you all next time.